go inside the hall now and see what's going on. 150,000 people have converged here on Las Vegas for CES 2014 to see some really cool stuff. Big screens, wearable tech, 3D printing. A lot of things that you haven't seen before, and some things you're going to see a lot of. This is the place to be, CES 2014. I'm here with Jerry Ropelato, who is the CEO of WhiteClouds, and it's a 3D printing company. Probably the hottest thing here at CES, wouldn't you say?
I would agree. There's so much happening in the 3D printing industry. New players, just like us, we're a new startup. We're all about enabling 3D printing for people who can't afford 3D printers or don't know where to start. So we have a large group of designers and high-end production printers. And so if you look at some of the stuff here that we've got in our booth, some really fascinating things that can be done with 3D printing that a lot of people are not even aware of.
So before we talk a little bit about that, let's talk a little bit about the business model. I mean, I'm curious, 3D printers came out. They were very expensive in the beginning. Their prices are coming down now. What do I want to use a 3D printer for if I'm a client of yours?
Let me give you a quick little history. If you compare the 3D printing industry today compared to the computers, say mid-70s, back then you had the big iron players, and along came these PCs, mid-70s to late 70s, Microsoft, new software, Apple coming out. You've got the same thing in the 3D printing industry today. So if you think about it, the large 3D printers have been around for 29 years. Most people do not know that. But what really happened is the consumer models came out a couple years ago. That's where all the hype's coming from now. So if you look at it, compare it back to the computer industry, software's still not where it needs to be. A lot of new players, everyone jockeying for position, and it's a fascinating industry. Who are going to be the winners? Obviously the two biggest players, Stratasys, 3D Systems. It'll be interesting to see who comes out and gives them a run for their money.
So if I want something made, say I want knobs for a stove, or I want a pair of glasses frames that I've designed, would I come to you to do that?
You'd come to us. So we're going after the masses. So, for people that don't even know where to get started, if you come to our website, whiteclouds.com, we've got lots of tutorials and how-tos. Where do I get started? What equipment do I buy? We've got literally thousands of interesting products that can be customized where you don't have to own a 3D printer. If you've got a design that wants to be printed on a high-end production printer, we can do that for you. So we're a lot of services. We can even design it. We do a lot of design work for people that have got an idea on a napkin and they don't know what to do with it. We're great for entrepreneurs who've got that next billion-dollar idea, but they can't figure out how to build a prototype. That's what we're all about.
What can you make with a 3D printer?
Virtually anything that can be put into a CAD or a modeling program. So if you think about that from a creative perspective, virtually anything. Virtually anything that can be modeled can be printed.
Well, let's talk a little bit about something like this. How did this come to be, for example?
So we actually took an idea and actually modeled this out. So this took about 30 hours to actually put it in a CAD program, do all the modeling, add the colors, the dimensions, and when we had all of the design work done, then we began printing. And so this was actually printed on a couple of different printers. Some of the Z Printer 650 did a lot of the work on here. We also had a Connex 500 that did some of the real clear plastics on this here, if you look at the little wind turbines there. So if you look at the detail of this, I mean, just phenomenal detail.
Let's talk a little bit about some of these things, because these are fascinating pieces with a lot of detail.
That's correct.
So obviously there's a lot of different colors in here. Is each of the colors, is this painted or is this 3D printed with these colors?
There is no painting here. So this is actually printed on color printers that will actually print up to 750,000 colors at one time. So if you think about it, just like an inkjet printer on a laser jet printer, it uses the actual same inkjet heads. And so if you fill this, it comes out with a sandstone finish, but the colors are just phenomenal.
Does all of it come out with this texture?
This particular model, it does. And so if you look at these here, different textures based on the thickness of the resolution has an impact on that. But as you can see, all kinds of interesting colors. And all it takes is to get it into a model first. Once it's in the model, it can be printed.
And the model wants to be a CAD design, or can it be a TIFF, or can it be a GIF, or does it, what does it have to be?
Typically, you'll use software applications like, it could be SolidWorks, which is very popular, Revit, it could be Maya, it could be 3ds Max Design. So a lot of the things that you're hearing of students going to college to learn how to do modeling that they might do in animation, for example, those same files can be 3D printed.
Well, I'm fascinated by it. It was a pleasure to meet you, and good luck. Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you, Frank.
Thank you. Thanks, Jerry.